Ms. Sarah Sayed, Deputy Minister for Public Relations at the Ministry of Investment, and we'll discuss many questions today, specifically because the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, one of the objectives, we know that one of the objectives of the Vision 2030 and according to the strategy, the development entrepreneurship is one of the major objectives. Mr. Rakan, if you can tell us about your experience as an entrepreneur, how was your journey? And I believe it was a very inspiring journey for you as a Saudi entrepreneur. Thank you, Ms. Rima, and I'm glad that I'm here with you today. I believe that what had happened recently in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia since the year 2016, after we launched our vision, I think the sector that received the most empowerment was the sector of entrepreneurship and the SME sector. After the government launched many programs, the uh, venture investment companies in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So I've worked within this ecosystem, and I worked also on empowering the entrepreneurs. Since 2017, maybe you can draw a straight line, the period before 2017 and post 2017 in entrepreneurship. And as you see in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the digital services and different applications that we've seen after the pandemic was is truly of great importance, and literally now any service or any product that you need, it can reach you with just a simple click. Yesterday, I met with some American and European friends who came to Saudi Arabia. We met over lunch, and they said that the ease of demand and the ease of receiving goods and services is definitely astounding in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So tell us your personal story. I was always trying to find a solution for challenges. So you have to use sizer batteries. I wanted a solution that can charge the phone while I have it in my pocket. The wires, the chargers limit your mobility. So I said to myself, 7 billion people on this planet never thought of charging the device while it's in my pocket. So that's how we started the concept. Until today, Shizer now is leading in the field that we named it the mobile power system or model. So, for example, the electrical company will enable you to use electricity in your home, but not in your pocket. And here's started the story of Shizer. So far, we're doing well, and we benefited from the empowerment that we received. I believe if we had tried this 10 years ago, would have not succeeded. So a story of success and a novel story. Miss Sarah, the media is not just a mean or a method of conveying news. Some of our missions include also conveying information, raising awareness. Of course, we're playing a role in continuous communication and promoting entrepreneurs, promoting the economical investments. According to your personal experience in administrative investment, how can the foreign investor reach the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia or start investing in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia through which media channels? The foreign investor is well educated and very well aware of the current policies, and they understand the market. They penetrating the main driver of investments in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is represented by His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman. His Excellency Khalid Al Faleh, His Excellency the Minister of Investment, played a great role as well. We held more than 227 investment meetings, including roadshows and participating in global conferences. But His Excellency the Minister of Investment, he said the main driver of investment in Saudi Arabia is His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman. We might think that some people does not know the kingdom well, but know His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman in person. I was aboard a plane, and next to me was a lady from Benin, an African country. And she asked me where I'm from. I said from the kingdom, and she immediately said Neom, so they know our project. So this is good news to us. So we reached the foreign investor through the major initiatives that undertaken by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, specifically the vision of the Kingdom 2030. As far as the investors and how can the ease of access of reaching the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, they can reach us through X or LinkedIn, in which we provide information about the incentives regarding the investments in the Giga project undertaking by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, X, LinkedIn, YouTube, and other platforms through which we promote foreign investment. Invest Saudi SA is the most important platform available in 7 languages, showcasing all the feasibility studies of all the investment projects in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. So, when you talk about His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman, he's the most important brand, if you may, for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and indeed for the Arab world, with bringing about new ideas in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the great transformation that the kingdom is witnessing. Was that uh, deliberate action, planned action, or just a person who had a dream for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, that dream that turned to be true? Did you deploy the great character of His Royal Highness to promote all the different economic activities in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia? I believe it just became an organic, and as a Ministry of Investment, we capitalize on this, working closely with the other government entities. They all know the great strides we have seen in the kingdom, and 2 days ago, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia hosted economical deliberation between the between the United States and Russia, and I believe those actions take place organically. His Royal Highness is young and he has a dream, and we want to fulfill that dream. And most of our society are of youth, and I believe that the world are witnessing what takes place in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. All eyes on the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia now, and I believe it happened organically. Congratulations for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for this great transformation and the vibes in the that we are sensing in Riyadh city and the other cities. You sensing that it's a place of happiness in which any individual can fulfill their dream, not only for the Saudis but as well for all the visitors as investors and those who are pursuing the Saudi dream. We heard about the success story, inspiring success stories, and I was just talking to Sarah about. We discussing other stories, and we said that the social, when you view the social media, you see people just living their lives and normally, and we don't hear any stories of hardship in the business arena. For the entrepreneur, is it always a bright road and clear path? Here for entrepreneurs in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, are you subjected to some shocks along this the way? I believe that you touch a very important topic. People are always taken by appearances. Just bring an idea, and within 2 years, you're a billionaire. But the reality is quite different. Uh, as I've worked with many of the entrepreneurs, I have not met one entrepreneur that succeeded in his first trial or her first trial. The first 3 trials is always a failure, and then success comes. That includes me, of course, and I, we've spoken before that I wanted to launch an entrepreneurship company, and I lost 1 billion riyals. Only a few exceptions that we had as successes or first time trial successes. Another study was conducted by the Innovation Council. That was during the Obama era in 2012, and they conducted a study on all the unicorn companies. Of course, companies with a value exceeding $1 billion. So they want to understand how these companies were founded, as to replicate this model uh, and create more unicorns. So the conclusion of the study was as follows: most of the successful unicorn companies were founded by entrepreneurs who aged 40 and above, and most of them had more than 15 years of experience and an MBA. What you hear and see in social media that a recent graduate started an application and became a billionaire. Those are the points that I mentioned in the story of this curve. So entrepreneurship is takes a great effort, and of all the success stories that you've heard or seen, of everything successful stories, there are nine failures at least. If you see in one who's in a good financial situation, then I can assure you that this is only one guy among another nine who failed. So he's the only one who succeeded among 10. So 1 out of 10 succeed, basically. So it's not a simple process, and don't be deceived by social media. Some people say that one need to become an entrepreneur to avoid having a boss. The clients are your bosses, I can assure you of that. The investors are your bosses. The media are your boss. Everybody's your boss. At least with a job, you only had one manager, one boss, and report to one individual. But in the world of entrepreneurship, everybody around you is your boss. So those talk about freedom and of work. Of course, you maybe business, the daily business aspects keep you awake at night, and maybe as far as the SMEs, they don't fully understand the business accelerators. We have so many accelerators in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and Mushad, Wide, and Miss Foundation, and other foundations that support these efforts, and some other semi-government entities. BIF launched a fund last year valuing $40 billion to support AI efforts. But I agree with you that entering this field might be hard. Ms. Sada, I want to talk more about how are you reaching the foreign investor. And, there are different uh, economical stations, if you may. Those media stations became economical stations. Bloomberg, Charlotte Bloomberg, Al Arabiya as well, news channel have launched one of the most important economical platforms as they led the world in providing uh, economy news. Do you need such platforms to attract investments into the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, or are you using the social media platforms such as X? Which platform do you deem preferred? Of course, there are many channels, and the media economic platform is of great importance, and the decision makers need to be part of this process. His Excellency Khader Farah, the Minister of Investment, is a continuous visitor, providing outstanding content of all the Vedics and documenting all the meetings and conferences. And now His Excellency is attending the Future Investment Initiative Conference in Miami. And Her Royal Highness also spent great efforts, but he highly acclaimed the efforts of the kingdom. So the media characters and the influencers we might even in the future reach more people and more investors. Boris Johnson yesterday was talking about the kingdom, and he said the kingdom of Saudi Arabia will be the #1 tourism destination in the world soon, as well as influencers in the media platforms. So this matter is of great importance. And in the opening speech, those words were mentioned. About which markets are we talking? What's really important to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia? Is it China, the Asian countries, Europe, America? Are you dealing in one market, or you penetrating one market without and not considering other markets. We are engaging in business with all, and what's really important to us is our business to the benefit of the Saudi citizen and the as well as everyone living here in the land of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. China is considered one of our greatest partners, as well as the U.S. And I can tell about many success stories that change our track in economy. Uzbekistan, billions of dollars were invested between the two countries and have reached recently $19 billion in the field of energy. These of which were led by Aqua Power Company. Those are soft powers. And now we are seeing other countries entering and other investors from other countries entering the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Those who want to engage in business activities in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, they're more than welcome. Just a simple comment with what my colleague Sarah said about the media appearance. I believe even in the sector of entrepreneurship, the, I can say comfortably say that in the last 8 years we're not seeing companies as companies or enterprises as enterprises. If I said who's the founder of Toyota Nissan? So we just knew the brand and the company in the past, but with the abundance of information to social media, Apple is linked to Steve Jobs, as Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook, and locally Uniphonic Ahmed Hamda Lomar is led by Loya Nassim. So now the founder and the CEO of the company is a part of the image of the company, but in some instances the investors also have specific guidelines and restrictions on Twitter about those characters and not to affect the company reputation. But the idea is basically every PR is a good PR. Any appearance for the entrepreneur, every station or any media appearance is continuous promotion for the company. In some cases, these services are provided for free, but the audience in some instances have their own reservation about the continuous promotion of entrepreneurs of their companies, and that's only normal. Of course, he need to be in continuous state of promotion. I think you're free advertising for Shizer. Okay. But it's an advertisement for all the entrepreneurs to continue their efforts in Saudi Arabia, both our youth and our men and women to continue promoting the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the sector of entrepreneurship. Ms. Sarah, if you can tell us about the practical aspect, how the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia reached the foreign investors. Let's talk about the local investment ecosystem. Are you using or are you harnessing the power of traditional networks such as Saudi Channel, Sharp, Bloomberg, or do you still need the social media platform to reach a younger audience? Of course, it depends on the type of business that you're promoting. Some are aligned with these efforts, such as the financial and the banking sector. It's maybe it's a process of verification or validation, if you may. But when it comes to the consumer product or the of the consumer products, so the social media serves it greatly. So it depends on the type of business or the sector and the product or the service that is providing. That will determine the channel that you will use to reach your audience. Miss Sarah, Mr. Rakan talked about. He mentioned some names. Elon Musk owns Twitter, and he restructured and improved X platform, Zuckerberg, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, and Meta has reached global levels. His things also changed this great digital platform to be one of the most popular platforms. Mr. Murdoch also owns a number of media group association and Snapchat as well. does the foreign investor have this appetite to invest in the local media or the Arabian media? Did you sense any directions or directives or efforts to follow that track or pursue that track? In 2023, the investment reached 2 billion, and by 2030, the investment should reach $4 billion in the media sector. So that just proves the keenness of the global community and the media in the region. This is also some proportion of promoting the different investments, but we'll always refer to the soft power. For example, and maybe it's not related to investment, but when Cristiano Ronaldo and Georgina arrived in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, that changed the pattern and the ideas and perception about the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And for the foreign investor, when they move their headquarters to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia or move most of their investments to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, what's really important is the quality of life. So when they see icons such as Cristiano Ronaldo living in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, living comfortably and enjoying his stay in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, I believe this is such stories attract the investors, and the quality of lives are also of great importance. The regulations, legislation is also of great importance. But I'll say that the one-way media is not of great importance, as it is the case with the soft power that can reach the audience swiftly, non-invasively. Appetite. The consumer have an appetite for good stories. Advertisement. Do you think that advertisement is not really effective, or 30-second spot? We're more in the mode of storytelling. So Hamdan, when we hear about great entrepreneurs, Arabian entrepreneurs such as Elon Musk, not with the government support, but maybe other efforts that will lead to increasing the appetite of the Arab investors to grow larger. The a social network presence in the scene was greatly delayed. Saudi Arabia and our consumption of the different media platform or the social media platform is truly scary. Who are on Snapchat and Instagram are the Saudis. Why do we not? Why not? Why are not we having our own networks? This type of business require an incentivize and encourage an ecosystem. The licensing processes are improved and enhanced every year. So I believe that we will see these efforts translated to reality, but we haven't reached the level of maturity, of global maturity yet. We're yet to design social media, Saudi social media for Saudis in what we consider compatible with our needs. I believe that there were some attempts by some of the youth, such as Jaco platform, and it's receiving a modest success. I was like to say that today, within 7 or 8 years since we launched the vision, we've achieved what we have achieved, and it's great. So, in the next 10 or 15 years, let's not think 2030, let's think 2040, let's think 2050, and if we can, as the people of Saudi Arabia, to achieve all these goals that we never dreamed of. What can we do in the next 10 or 15 years? Let's think of that. I believe that what said by Ms. Sarah, that the Prime Minister of the UK yesterday said that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia will be the number one tourism destination. But I believe also that we will become the Silicon Valley for the whole region in the next 10 to 15 years. Do we have the adequate infrastructure? Do we the universities and academia preparing the youth for the advanced technology? taken into that consideration, and also this unprecedented acceleration of technology in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is it compatible with the efforts of establishing new enterprises in this field, and I believe we'll see leapfrogs in this frog leaps rather. And we have attended LEAP conference attended by thousands of people from all over the world, and they announced deals that was close to $20 billion, and the IT infrastructure is at 20 billion. It's increasing, and what is targeted is an additional $20 billion to improve the IT infrastructure. And I mentioned the fund of PIF that invests in technology, but it's a very promising field, specifically because the Saudi uh, people are about 65% of them are under 30. So the appetite is there, the infrastructure is available, and the investments will penetrate the market. And I would like to add one more point. 14 years ago, we asked employees in the IT sector, and how can we transform Kingdom Saudi Arabia to become the next Silicon Valley? Yes, as you said, building the push model that you prepare the infrastructure and things just will happen naturally. But the vision had proved, and it was said by His Royal Highness Mohammed bin Salman that he's betting on the youth. You don't need to build Stanford to have the next Silicon Valley. Yes, maybe in the 70s and the 80s, maybe or the 90s, you need these names or these academic establishments. But now we have shortcuts. The Saudi youth have the ability. They truly amaze me every time of how they have the ability to accomplish task without going through the 20 or the 30 steps of the processes to attain a certain goal. They reach their destinations and shortcut many steps, and we've seen another leap in 2021. The the foreign presence did not exceed 5 or 10% in the market, but I've seen in the market the the presence in LEAP was mostly by visitors from abroad and um, um, the visitors we had first time visitors from Singapore, from China, and other countries. So what it's not a push model. We did not send them tickets and told them to come visit the kingdom. Again, soft powers, the media. So we do see an appetite. So eventually we'll see a Silicon Valley. Miss Sarah, as far as the soft powers and those inspiring stories for the foreign investor and for the youth, the Arab youth, men and women, to what extent are you working in the Ministry of Investment to break the stereotypes about the region as a whole, the Arab world, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and how were you able to uh, break the stereotyping models? And so they don't know the geography of the Arab world, and the investor will not reach that level of ignorance. But of course, we see some stereotyping of the region or the characters. So the major stereotype that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is just an oil-producing country. So the Vision 2030 was about economical diversification. So our focus on the infrastructure, the digital transformation, and other sectors changed the stereotype ideology. Of course, there are we've seen misinformation, and maybe the investor who arrived at the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is normally a very educated investor. He knows the kingdom well. He knows the historical context. He knows about the peace and stability track of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. But the misinformation is in every environment. And that's what we're trying to avoid but I believe it's very clear for the foreign investor the position of the kingdom, the ambitions of the kingdom specifically in matters pertaining to the vision. The vision is quite clear to them, but what is truly important, the maybe the entertainment sector, and maybe that will have its largest share of the media coverage. Expo 2030, the next World Cup that will be held in 2034, the Red Sea cinematic festivals and the different activities that take place, entertainment activities that takes place in Alola, targeting young generations as entrepreneurs, the Silicon Valley type of person. But I've seen also keenness and great the investment sector in Europe is very interested to penetrate the Saudi market. Do maybe a Saudi channel providing news in English and but not solely relying on Bloomberg and major networks. Do we need that type of effort? I'm hoping that the Arabia Al Arabia uh, is have a great reputation, uh, and maybe at one point I'll be hoping that I'll be in Europe and I'll be listening to Al Arabiya in English. Do we need uh, these top up networks? Yes, we need them. Be nice to have. Mr. Rakan, today as a dream chaser, as an entrepreneur, you had a dream about a project and it translated itself into a power bank, and that power bank gave you the power to fulfill your dreams. Are you dreaming of reaching globalism? Is the Saudi market sufficient and enough for you? Uh, how much time will you need to reach globalism? Every man asks himself that question about a certain project, and why do I start this project? Is it for additional income? Maybe a laundromat, a barber shop, a restaurant, or do I want I want to disrupt the market, or is my dream it will take 20 and 30 years to reach that global level, and I think it's very important to set your goal at the very beginning. There's a difference between a bakery shop and there's a difference between thinking of just opening a bakery shop versus a franchise of this brand, and that brand will be seen in every country now with the internet and the social media and the different events taking place in different parts of the world. The world became a village. You can arrive at the airport, go to New York, and arrive at the FI, and on the second day, you join us today, and you'll be somewhere else tomorrow. The acceleration of business is unprecedented. So once you think about a project, you must take that decision proactively. And maybe I was excited, and I wanted a product that can be sold in Riyadh, New York, Peru, Australia, could be sold everywhere. So, so my business model is expandable. But the reality is something else. When we started, we thought that we will control the Saudi market within 3 years. The 3 years passed and we only reached a 40% share of the market. The challenges are immense, and the biggest challenge, and when you launch an innovative product, how it's received by the people is is not as fast as you dream, if you may. A juice with a new flavor, for example. And Saudis love cardamom and they love incense. So maybe I'll make a camel milk with oud. But when you launch the product in the market, you expect that the sales will be 100,000, not due to the quality of the product, but how people accept or how they receive the product. We say that preparing cups need 20 minutes to be cooked. You cannot increase the heat and it is cooked within 5 minutes. The efforts undertaken by the Ministry investment and the BIF, you cannot achieve all these goals. It was 2 years. It's a build-up. It's a cumulative effort. Sometimes the audience shock you that they're not acceptable. So that's what we need 2, 3, 4 years until people can fully saturated with the idea, and then maybe can return to globalism. The dream was that within 7 years we'll reach the global markets, but now we've moved it up a notch to 12 years. As you said, it's a slow burn, but the end you see the numbers, and the numbers as far as the FDI increased by 13%, almost close to 900 billion, a sizable number. So, for example, the number of people who decided to live in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, who came from abroad to live in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, that number has increased by 1.2 million, and the tourists who entered the kingdom reached 100 million last year. So those numbers really tell the story of success. Time is upon us, but the Davos World Economic Forum I was conducting a dialogue session with His Excellency Adam Zuberi, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and we were talking about the green city and all the environmental projects in NEOM and the other projects in the Saudi Arabia, and we our panel came to an end, and Elon Musk decided to take a clip from that interview and to present comments, and it went viral, and and that what makes us ask that question as traditional media outlets. We were to work on the content for years, and in some instances, one tweet from one person can achieve that impact that you wanted to attain. Last word, Mr. Rakan. What is required by both the traditional media and the modern digital media to tell your story, or what exactly is needed? I believe that we reach a level of saturation with success stories. So now of course, I'm talking about the entrepreneurs, and now we want to talk about the stories of success of the entrepreneurs who reach the plateau. Now, we've seen stories of lower quality. I think that we need to change our compass direction. We, as an Arab society, and specifically the Saudi people society, the social links are strong. So when you start a project and you fail, you first will have a response by the people closer to you. So, the sarcasm is quite loud in the Arab world, and even in Saudi Council, and I have some colleagues that they lost friendship and relationship. They cannot take the feedback anymore, or the comments of failure anymore. Failure is a step that brings you closer to success. The experience is what truly generates success. So when you try and you fail, I'll tell you, as an investor, when I invest with the entrepreneurs, the first question I ask, how many times you failed? If he or she said, no, I failed because the decision or the resolution that was, or the law passed by the government, I will not work with them. But if you said frankly that I failed 3 times, yeah, so I think that individual is ready. So I think we need to shed the light on the stories of failure and to learn from them. Ms. Sada, one tweet can elevate the market and bring it to a slump. And Elon Musk concerned the UK government for weeks with some tweets. So, what does the KSA needs to promote the investors or the promote the process of attracting FDIs? My idea might be a bit controversial. All publicity is good publicity, but I'll conclude by Britt Bear and his Royal Highness interview. He said that speaker was speaking English. So all publicity is good publicity, and not all eyes on us. Maybe we taken the wrong path. And no doubt that sometimes such comments we've heard it from individuals who are not aware of the life in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Maybe that broadcasters did not know that sports takes a very important place in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Thank you. We always hope that you are successful and the Saudi Arabia continue to prosper with the presence and the efforts of the youth, such as like yourself. Thank you, Masada. We thank the Saudi Media Forum for inviting us. Thank you, Mr. Rima.